I am not just New York City's favorite real estate broker. I'm also New York City's favorite upscale party planner. You have the pleasure of speaking with Rupert.
Hey, Rupert, I'm putting together a bar mitzvah for my son and needed to find a venue.
I have a hall in Midtown ready for you. Shall I book?
Isuzu Rupert, broker sports utility with quick booking off the line. Isuzu Rupert. No?
This man speaks a language I don't understand, and I understand everything.
Can the chef make kosher pigs in blankets that are Nutrisystem safe?
No. The house chef is the magnifique Auguste Gaston. Is this man kidding with Rupert?
One more quick question for you. Could the hall have a couple of dancing poles?
This is when Rupert calls the police, not because he has stripper poles at his son's bar mitzvah, but this is when the man asked me to make a video to play for his son. No sir, creepy man. The box score starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score. Hello and welcome to the box score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, a huge weekend of football to recap. McLovin, give it to me straight. Who stands atop of the NFL right now?
Oh my God, there's no doubt about it. As I predicted, because they are angry about Deflategate, the Patriots are going to go 16-0. And only because they are mad about Deflategate. They're not even a good team, they're just that angry.
I was driving in this morning, I was listening to another sports show. And the host, who pretty much knows a lot about sports, is pretty well respected, said that the Patriots are actually playing harder and trying to score more points as a franchise because of what happened in the offseason. Yesterday, they kept their starting offense on the field and tried to score more points to make a point. Do you believe that anyone on the Patriots is changing their mentality because of that?
I could see that, actually, though. Like, there's a difference between winning, 31-7 and 51-7.
Well, would you leave your players on that you would otherwise take off if it was just another regular season, according to this host?
Well, I tell you, I watched social media on Sunday. A lot of people were wondering what are the Patriots doing in the Jags game, but particularly the Bills. They kept throwing. They're fending off a lot of running up the score accusations. True or not?
You can't run up the score in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everyone's a professional there. You get a paycheck to play the game. There's no such thing as running.
And even if you're embarrassing other coaches or other teams, that it's not like the whole world. I know they have that mentality. The whole world is out to get them, but not all the coaches and all the players think that Brady's a cheater or that the Patriots cheated. If they're trying to stick it to the Bills and put up 50 on.
Well, that's because Rex had been talking trash all week. Not about cheating, but saying we're great.
But do they plan on doing this like every week? Are they trying to score 40, 50 points on every?
But aren't they always trying to score 40 or 50 points? Like, what team is not trying to score?
Well, I'll tell you though, they want to keep Brady. It happened. The big one was Carson Palmer. The Cardinals were blowing out a team this week.
That was weird too.
And they kept him on there. Like, teams have to address that. Do you pull your starter? And Palmer took a shot.
Well, one of these days, I think what's going to happen is a guy like Carson Palmer is going to go back for a pass, and some defensive lineman says, you know what, F this. And crack him.
Cheat him, yeah.
And then the Cardinals will be out of the playoffs. You know what we're going to do? We're going to say, what the hell is Carson Palmer doing in that game?
Yeah.
So you can't criticize him afterwards unless you're going to criticize him before.
Well, right, and that's the issue with Brady. But this has been happening for years, where Brady will be in there late in the game. Belichick's not one to pull Brady.
Yeah, remember Manning when he was at Colts? There were seasons where no one else but Manning took a snap. They'd be up 37 to 4, 37 to 3. I remember in a game, they were up 37 to 3.
Manning.
And there he is taking a snap at the end of the game.
Never would come out, never.
Yeah, then you might end up getting hurt like Romo, and then you leave your fans all unhappy, much like our boy down there in Irving, Shea in Irving.
You can't give away games like this when Romo and Dez are gone. This is a game you had to have. You got to go 5-3 in the next 8. That's what you had to do when Romo was gone. Instead, you go gift Atlanta something like this. This is a joke, Danny.
I'm surprised you're still a Cowboy fan.
How dare you?
Well, I know, but look what it does to you.
I was born and bred in Irving, Texas, Danny. I didn't have a choice.
Are they good for you?
Danny, a lot of things I do aren't good for me. That doesn't mean I'm going to give up on them.
Let's rank what's not good for you. Where do the Cowboys rank and what's not good for you?
I think Cowboys got to be somewhere after drugs, alcohol, and gambling. But I ain't giving those up.
Dude is too much, man. He couldn't invent a better character for the show. I mean, he's clearly calling from like a bathroom or something because you could hear the echo, and that echo only happens in a couple rooms in your house. Bathroom being one of them. Maybe like some type of foyer. And then I always wonder what happens when he goes back out of that bathroom and he's like, "Oh, hey, honey." So like it's completely different than the Shay we know, or if he's still like, "I goddamn, I gotta tell you that."
When you have that combination of passion and anger combined, just like stand-up comedians, there's nothing much better than that.
Yeah.
When you're like really passionate about something and you're pissed off about that.
Like if his food is bad, like he goes and gets breakfast and it comes out cold. Is that the way?
What are you doing with these eggs? Like, is he talking like that?
Right, exactly. Or is he just, oh, you know what? Actually, these are a little cold. Actually, can I just get it warmed up?
He just saves it for what he's talking about.
I think what's great about him is the theater of the mind is a phrase used in radio, that he is so much more interesting because we don't know what the apartment looks like and don't know what he looks like, really. I mean, you could Google him and maybe see something here and there, but I purposely don't want to know because that blows the entire bit. Him being on the show is probably the last thing I would let happen in person, unless it was our last show. Let's say, honestly, if we had a show, let's say Dan was going to retire 4 years from now and we were to do our last week on air, he would be in studio on set. So would Chris in Syracuse and guys like that. In Wisconsin, our buddy in Wisconsin. Jake in Wisconsin. But have them all, but not until then.
All right, can you imagine Fritzy's Theater of the Mind?
Oh, my God. Well, Fritzy, let me ask you, would you rather have your team lose or be behind in the competitive ranks throughout the season or lose going into the playoffs in the very last week?
Oof. As heartbreaking as it would be, I'd like to have my team be in it, and it would be fun to, it would make the season a lot more fun that they were still in it throughout the regular season. But, I've been through enough heartbreaking losses, including Super Bowls with Denver, to know how bad that can be. But that being said, I would think unless you're guaranteed like a #1 pick, and even then you don't know if that player is going to be a bust or not. I'd rather enjoy the season knowing that they may make it, even if you pull the rug out from under them in the very last week and they miss out or get embarrassed in a wild card game or something.
Well, Paulie, in the college context, today Pat Forty said if Alabama loses another game, they're going to be out of the playoffs and the world would collapse. Is there another team in another sport that the fan base would take it that hard?
University of Kentucky basketball, Ohio State football. That's kind of where I'll stop. I don't think there's any other fan bases besides Alabama, Kentucky basketball, and Ohio State football where it's a crazy level of intensity. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it both positive and negative.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, McLovin, in 10 years, what are we saying about Leonard Fournette's pro career?
I don't know about these big-time college stars. You could be great in college. It doesn't mean a thing for the NFL. Because Todd Gurley finally got on the field this week for the Rams. I'm like, oh, my God, the greatest college running back ever. He had 4 carries for 9 yards for the Rams.
But is that a fair comparison to a guy coming off major knee surgery who's just dipping his toe in the NFL?
Well, the guy went
possibly healthy Leonard Fournette.
Well, I mean, there's a 95% chance Gurley will be drafted higher than Fournette. Running backs just are not going to go higher. So Gurley was probably as big a blue chip as Fournette.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, you can just look at it. Most Heisman winners.
Yeah, most of these. That's what I'm saying. Most of these. Most of these star running backs too. They don't do anything in the pros. Just because you run for 2,000 yards doesn't really translate to anything. Then there's some guy like that guy Mark Jones out of Florida who
comes
just
out of nowhere.
Yeah, comes out of nowhere, or some Broncos back who's undrafted. So it's hard for me to see the connection. I see the highlight of Leonard Fournette. I'm like, well, that guy's an ex-Bo Jackson. He's going to run for 50 touchdowns. I say it logically, but then
and look at Bo Jackson. He had a 1,000-yard season.
Well, he was great, but I'm not going to put Fournette there yet. Leonard Fournette, his brother, maybe.
Leonard is the real one.
That's like Instagram.
Yeah. We shall see Leonard Fournette, a man among boys. Coming up, a boy becomes a man. Hey, you want to haul like a man? Get a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Climbs a hill, hauls a trailer, and tows a boat, and then puts hairs on your chest. Oh, so manly. All right, get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. We are back here on the box score. Guys, you're going to be spending a lot of time this weekend as Saturday is Jordan Fritz's Bar Mitzvah-thon 2015. Now, Paulie, are you going to support Jordan or just to get Fritzy-related content?
Well, no, I like Jordan. Nice kid. He's a fun kid whenever I see him every year at the Christmas parties.
That's a fair question, though. Which you rank higher, being there as a supportive friend or show content? Because I know you're excited from his show content.
I am. I want to be careful, though. This is an important event to Fritzy and his family and to his religion, so I will not do anything whilst present to interject into the things. And I'll also make sure that I don't do anything that's off color because it is a serious event. That being said, it's still a fun topic because for guys like Seat and I who haven't been to a lot of bar mitzvahs, we don't know what we're in for. And the topic of the video has been a year-long topic because of all the people Fritzy has guilted into being part of it.
Well, I feel like it's easier for me to just cut loose on this bar mitzvah because you guys don't you don't know where to put this on the ranks of religiosity.
I know that it's obviously a very important and significant event for your whole family.
And I'm excited that you guys are going to be
I want to be like you certainly, you have to be respectful of that, especially because I don't know anything about it. I've never been to one. But then there is also the show fun part of it. Like, all right, well, let's, how do we sort of do this nicely and delicately?
I only hope that you guys, while you're taking it all in and seeing what all the different elements that go into a bar mitzvah, that ultimately you'll have a great time and take something away from it that it was a memorable, awesome experience.
Well, it's going to be memorable because we're going to talk about it for hours and hours next week on the national radio and TV.
Hey, now, Todd, I'm not sure if DP is still going to be on the air when your daughter comes up for her bat mitzvah. Are we setting the bar a little bit too high with this 20-minute celebrity-laden montage? Are you going to have the same kind of access when she comes around?
I'm very concerned about that. Paulie asked me about that, as a matter of fact, the other day, and it was a conversation I had with my wife as to, if this is as special as we think it is for Jordan, and obviously Lindsay's there present, and, sibling rivalries and all that. Well, who do you love more? You did this, all these special things that you put into Jordan's bar mitzvah. What happens in a couple of years when I'm bat mitzvahed? What are you going to do to at least, if not top it, at least do something, even to that? And I have no idea what that's going to be.
Now, we all know that Todd is a television producer. I saw so in the New York Post a couple of years ago. He talked about the LeBron James game. Todd, I'm assuming you didn't do this, but if you did, you're a genius. If you didn't, I don't know. When you asked each celebrity, actor, actress, musician, sports figure, hey, congratulations, Jordan Fritz, on your bar mitzvah, did you also give another piece of paper that said, hey, congratulations to your daughter?
There's none of that.
Because you could have had them all do it. Nobody knows what year it is.
True.
Nobody time when.
But two things. One, it's Jordan's special day, and he shouldn't have to share that.
Well, he wouldn't be sharing it. You'd just be banking this content for future video and saving her years of therapy.
Yeah, true. But the other thing is, most, if not all, of those individuals, Lindsay has either not heard of or could care less, or it wouldn't excite her in any way.
Dan Marino.
Ryan Urlacher saying that, and she's like, who is this?
This is about you and your career anyway, this video. It shows like, hey, look who I can get a hold of.
It's basically a pat of myself on the back.
And it's okay.
And somehow indirectly, Jordan's, getting a little love in the process. But yeah, that's. I am concerned about what we're going to do to at least match.
Can I commit now to attending Lindsay's bat mitzvah? Because I want to see her face when there's no video.
You are all invited, and I would love for you all to be at this bat mitzvah.
It's a little mean-spirited of me.
Where's my video, Daddy? All right, well, Perloff, it's well documented that Dan gave you the Heisman and didn't show up to your wedding. If you and your wife renewed your vows, do you think you could get him to attend and officiate?
Wow.
Officiate? I think he would.
He might be more interested in a fun renewal of vows than the actual wedding, because like if it was a fun small party, he might be interested. But the big formal thing where everyone comes up to him and asks him how their football team's going to do,
he doesn't love that.
He does not love that.
Do you know, in all seriousness, I remember when Dan came in one day, he goes, are you guys going to McLovin's wedding? I was like, oh, no, I think it's more, like his old buddies. We had not been working together that long, probably less than a year, I would think. Maybe.
Right, well, like in all honesty, I hadn't been up here. I hadn't started daily on the show.
I mean, it was, what month was it?
September. It was 2 days ago. Yesterday, 8 years ago.
Well, you started coming up every day when the TV show.
Yeah. How long has the TV show been on? Anyone know?
5 years, 6 years.
Right. So like when we found out we weren't invited, it was like, oh, Dan's invited, you're not invited. It was an interesting morning.
Well, but it's a tough spot though, because it's like, all right,
but we didn't expect to be invited.
You invite Dan because he's like the boss.
Famous.
Well, I look at it more as a boss thing.
So I could wink at that too.
But I mean, it's certainly an added benefit to him, famous guy.
Oh, that would have been huge on a personal basis.
But then, the courtesy invite too as an invitation.
Well, I invited my boss from SI at the time, and my boss, and not a single other person from Sports Illustrated.
That's gutsy.
And well, Sarah and I just decided to work, because if you invite one person, you got to invite 70.
But you did invite one person.
The boss. The boss for both.
That's
both
fair.
Sides.
Yeah. That's a toughie, though.
Yeah, but you guys, honestly, if you would have been annoyed, you'd be like, I have to buy this guy a present. Honestly, I'd probably met him 3 times. You would have been like, what?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have.
Probably not.
But And see, because we were such a small company at the time, I felt pressure. You have to invite everybody. There's only like 7 of us or something. All right, great. Everybody's invited.
You had to invite.
No offense.
You had to go about 23 deep, dude. About when you went to, because you invited.
Coworkers?
You had to go to invite people who I knew you didn't want to.
You know what? And there's a couple of people that didn't get invited to my wedding that I'm like, it really bothers me to this day that I'm like, how could I be so stupid and not put those people in there? But at the time, it was like this hard rule. Like, no, we're just doing family and that's it. And then like family and then like, okay, we have to's. And it bums me out because then just months later, the company was sold and most of the people that went to were no longer with the company.
At my wedding,
No offense.
my wedding, Dana was in charge of a lot of stuff, and I tried to do a lot of stuff too. But one of my friends goes, "Hey, where's blank blank?" I was like, "Oh," and I forgot to invite. And this is, I wouldn't say a close friend because obviously I would have remembered it. But this is a guy who's pretty tight with me in college, and doesn't live that far. He lives like in White Plains.
Yeah.
And I just forgot.
Just whiffed.
It just.
Yeah.
We can go through the list over and over and over again, and just for whatever reason.
But this guy would have been
somebody.
invited. Like if we would have reviewed his name. And I dreaded for so long seeing him the next time. I just threw myself on a sword. And I called him up and I said, I am an a-hole. And I have no excuse. I go, let me assure you, though, I did not think of you and then choose not to invite you. Whether he believed me or not, I don't know.
Which is better, though? Which is better?
What I did was better because it was unintentional.
Right.
Are you so friendly with that guy?
And you called
Very much
after
so.
the fact as like a, whoa, my bad, total.
And I would have rather been, honestly, I would rather him punch me in the face and say, let's get it over with. But he wasn't mad at all.
You know what happened to me? I was invited to someone's wedding when I worked at ESPN. And like at the time I was a vegetarian, so one of the reasons I know that I was invited to the wedding was because we had all of these conversations about like, oh my God, I gotta get one vegetarian meal for you and whoever you're probably bringing, like your date or whatever. And we had all of these fun discussions about like, oh, open bar and like all this stuff. And then I left ESPN to come here. And somehow my invitation never came.
Interesting.
So I was sort of
I think I know who we're talking about.
uninvited to the wedding, and I've always
Wow.
sort of kept that. Not, I get it. I was being invited because we worked together, and now that we didn't work together, we didn't have to be invited. It was just weird, though, to talk so many times, like hours and hours, week after week, about going to that wedding, and then
So
just
strange.
like just vanished.
I find myself thoroughly informed here. All right, stick around. It's a headline battle next. But first, McLovin on film.
What was that movie with Willy Wonka, Charlie and Charlie Factory? This poor kid who wins a golden ticket to a chocolate bar.
Oh, we are back. Well, welcome back to the box score. While many of us were watching football, I'm sure Paulie was out there pumpkin hunting to supplement his gourd collection for the autumnal season. Paulie, what would you say is the bigger number here? The amount of pumpkin products you consumed or the amount of times the Bears punted Sunday?
Man, it's close. I would say me with pumpkins, though, because, we were up in Vermont, and luckily there's a pumpkin stand within walking distance of my house. That's how much it is
I'd
up there.
take you and pumpkins versus the field. I got you.
Yeah,
there.
you could guarantee you bet against almost any bet.
All right.
How about me in amount of pumpkin-related products or things I've eaten versus minutes of Fritzy's video for his son? That would be close. 20.
That would be a push, probably.
That's a push. All right. Well, if you were out pumpkin hunting this weekend, there's a good chance that maybe you missed some of these magnificent headlines. Well, anyway, we got you covered. And this week's
Mock Headline Battle Royale.
I give you a headline, you give me a mock headline. First headline, Jordan Spieth wins the Tour Championship, pockets $10 million. Let's start it off with McLovin.
Jordan Horton. Hey, Spieth, share some of the money with the rest of us.
Good delivery.
All right, let's go to your right, Paulie.
2 guys named Jordan made $10 million on Sunday.
Fritzy, what do you got?
Leaving us Spiethless. Jordan does it again.
Super duper. Oh, no, they don't like that one? Theaton, your headline.
I don't know how this got by all of us, but none of us made like a Jordan Bar Mitzvah headline.
Oh.
Jordan Spieth and 22 million. Like who's gonna get more on Sunday or Saturday, whatever thing it is. Mine is just Air Jordan ? H-E-I-R, like Air Jordan.
Was mine unintentionally included his? Because I meant Michael Jordan.
Right, that's what I thought, but it could be Jordan Fritz.
All right.
He might pull in a cool 22 mil
That's
this
going
weekend.
to be just short.
Yeah, I think we all chipped in. All right, second headline, Lionel Messi will miss 8 weeks with a ligament tear in the knee. Front row, Paulie.
Oh, Lionel, no. Messi out 2 months with a knee injury.
Well within the range.
Yeah, I can't really deliver that one.
Fritzy.
Yeah, you're not exactly the best with that line.
Dude, where's my cartilage? A cruciate situation gets messy.
Cruciate. Wow. Look at you. Holy moly.
Cruciate situation.
Medical line.
Shitty situation.
Seton.
Lionel's Neonel looks a little messy.
Okay. That could get used.
Yeah, very rhymey. McLovin, your headline.
Lionel train derailed. What a messy for whatever team and/or country he plays for.
Andorra.
Make it a little longer.
All right, our third headline, Jonathan Papelbon and Bryce Harper brawl in Nationals dugout during blowout loss. Fritzy, let's start with you.
National embarrassment. Let me grab your throat.
That may even make the playlist on the Bar Mitzvah. All right, Seton, you're next.
More like Jonathan Crapplebon.
Crapplebon. His face.
McLovin, what do you got?
Like facial.
Papelbon. Nat surely will close out career of controversial reliever.
Closer.
Get it?
Close out.
Yeah,
Papelbon.
Very
I'm going to keep moving forward until something flops.
Pumpkin Polly.
I was in the middle of eating wings, so I spilled sauce on it. It's Snapplebon. Closer loses it and attacks Harper.
Snapplebon. He snapped.
Finally, our last headline, Tony Stewart announces he will retire after 2016. Seton, your headline, please.
This is sort of a homage to, what's that movie of everyone's in prison? That's not Shawshank Redemption. Up in smoke, Stewart vanishing like a fart in the wind. What say you, fussy britches?
That headline climbed through 500 yards of the most foul-smelling. Fritzy, your headline.
Final pit stop. Smoke will clear at end of next year. Smoke will clear.
Thoughtful, but will it be better than Polly's?
Probably. Where there's smoke, there's about to be a retired Tony Stewart.
All right, and finally, McLovin.
Wow.
Smoke and mirrors. Tony takes hard look at himself and decides that's enough racing.
Ooh.
Wow.
I like that a lot.
This has been Andrew Perloff for Inside Racing.
Wow, a blue one.
How's that a blue?
Wow.
That was
Smoke and
All
mirrors.
right, the
That
mock
was,
headline
that
championship
was
belt
like
goes to
bump and
Todd
what is your
Fritz.
word?
Congratulations, Mazel tov.
Attaboy, Fritzy.
Yeah.
Well done. Cruciate.
Jordan's here.
All right, don't go away. Megatron pays off in a big way. But first, this is the box score. We are taking a break to remind you that if I was a Transformer, I want to be a Dodge Heavy. Yeah, a Ram Heavy Duty. Autobots roll out. Ratchet. Bumblebee. Guts. Glory. Ram. We are back here on the box score. Man, I watched a lot of college football on Saturday. Paul, if you had to recommend one bar to watch football in anywhere in the United States, which one would it be?
Off the top of my head, there's a one called Publican in Chicago. It's a big sports bar that has great food and just TVs in every direction. I remember sitting there a couple of years ago. I was in Chicago. I don't know if any of you guys were with me, but I remember going, I could see a TV in every direction. I think it's called Publican or the Public House. Just TVs everywhere.
I will take your recommendation on that. Well, as we do every Monday here during football season, it's time to settle the score. In this week's
The Dan Football Night in America Challenge.
All right, on Friday, I asked who would have more receptions. Would it be Calvin Johnson or Emmanuel Sanders, with an extra point going to closest to the hole on yardage? Calvin caught 8 passes for 77 yards. Sanders caught 6 passes for 87. So McLovin and Paulie and I all went with Megatron, so we cash in there, and I got the extra point for closest to the hole. Oh, and for a bonus point, I asked which one team would be in the top highlights of Dan's Pick 6 segment. And I believe, Fritzy went with, Dan went with Ben Roethlisberger's leg injury. So Fritzy, you went with the Steelers, so you get the extra point there. So here's the updated standings.
I think that's my first point.
Yeah, you're off the bottom there. McLovin moves into a tie for first with Paulie 6 points. Seton has 5. I'm on the board with 2, and Todd has 1. So congratulations.
Todd.
We are up against a hard one. So Todd, please tell me who's on tomorrow.
Rockies.
Victor Cruz, Giants wide receiver, back from his calf injury, expected to play Week 4 against the Buffalo Bills. He will be among the luminaries. The others.
Well, he'll be the luminary.
He'll be
as
the
of right now.
luminary. I mean, I'd like to believe
Among is like a false tease.
There may or may not be other luminaries, but right now Victor Cruz
Yeah.
is going to lead us off tomorrow as he gets ready to play for the Giants Week 4.
Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen. We are back tomorrow, same time, same channel. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. Joy, here comes my Chiefs.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!